Hi, it's Patsy. So I thought I'd try something different today and have the opportunity and chance to use a couple of my new decks that I got this week. The tarot is the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson, and the oracle is the Goddess Dream Oracle by Wendy Andrew. Both gorgeous decks. So I thought I would come on and do something a bit different and use them. So we're going to do a pick a pile for the week ahead, starting on Monday. So obviously this is for entertainment purposes only, and it's a general read. Some of it may resonate, some of it may not. You may be able to take it, you may not take it. If it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. So this is pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. There's 1 oracle and 3 tarots in each deck, in each pile, and I will try to remember to put the timestamps below so you don't have to watch all of them. You can just watch which one you have chosen. So let's just move these out the way and we'll go to pile 1. So the first pile, the first card is Acceptance, the Cycle of Life. This card is gorgeous. I love this deck. The images are absolutely stunning. Yeah, so the message of this card is that in times in life we can't change nothing. We just have to accept that there is a beginning and end of everything. Everything has a cycle. We live with that every day. In our lives, you know, we see things ending, we see new beginnings, and it's all the cycle of life. And you know, there's no point fighting against it, and especially at this time as well. We've just got to sit it out. We can't fight it. We just have to allow this cycle to end, and it will. So for next week, you've just got to remember that you're in the cycle of life. You have to accept things as it is. You may find that some things will be coming to an end, but endings always bring new things. So when one door closes, another always opens, because that's just the way it is. So next week you may just have to accept that there's some things you can't alter. There's some things that you just have to go with the flow of life, and accept what it's giving you. So yeah, the World card is your first card of the tarot, and again, to me, when I see the World card, that is an end of a cycle. It is something coming to an end, something that you've probably been working on for a long time, but it's starting to draw to a natural ending, to a natural conclusion. It's not a disruptive ending, and it's not a disruptive energy, the World card. But again, it talks of the cycle of life. It talks of that part of your life coming to an end, making way for something new to begin. So I do think for some of you who chose pile 1 for next week, there will be some changes. Something's coming to an end, making way for new beginnings for you. One cycle is ending as another cycle is beginning. Just like the oracle said, acceptance is something that you accept, because it is just a cycle of life. So that's quite appropriate. The second card is the Queen of Wands. So if you can see that, the Queen of Wands. So with this cycle ending, you are going to be, when I see the Queen of Wands, she's very fiery, she's very passionate about things. She knows what she wants, and she's going after it. And this is how you're going to be feeling next week, when this cycle ends, that you're already fired up about your new adventure. You know, whether this is a hobby, whether it's work or whatever it is, you're fired up to start something new. You know what you want, and you're going to get out there and you're going to make sure that you get it. This is the kind of energy I get with the Queen of Wands. Very forthright, very energetic, and knows exactly what she wants. And I think this image in the Mermaid Tarot really sort of shows that off to me. So even though one cycle is coming to an end, you're really fired up, ready for the next cycle, and you're raring to go. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups brings in the new beginnings for you, a new start, which is ideal. Once you've had one thing coming to an end, the newness is coming in next week. And full of potential. The Ace of Cups to me is one of full of potential, but emotion is going to fulfill you emotionally. So whatever you're going to be fired up about, you're going to be starting next week, and it's going to be full of potential and be a real good for yourself, you know, on your emotional self, and it's something you're going to love. But you know, it's got the potential there of growing into something really good, and something that you're really going to enjoy. So that is pile one. There's going to be some coming to an end of a cycle and starting a new cycle, but it's something that you're going to be raring to go with, something that you're passionate about, and something that you've got a lot of drive to fulfill. And it's going to bring on this new beginning, a new potential to start something new, what is going to be very fulfilling for you. And just keep in mind, you have to go with the flow of the cycle of life. So that is cards pile one. So the second pile was this one. And your card, your first card I should say, or your goddess card is opportunity. Expand your horizons. So next week you're being asked to take opportunities what come your way, and with them opportunities, you know, it's going to expand your horizons. Now I do get with this card with the feather here, and I think that's an eagle in the head. This is more of opportunities to expand your horizons of the mind, rather than, and especially if you're in a place where you can't go out anyway, it's not expanding your horizons as being out and about, but it's more of doing it a lot of inward work, a lot of expanding your mind within, looking for signs. When I see eagles, that's always such a spiritual bird to me. That is always about taking yourself to a higher place. And also with the feather there, again, that tells me of messages that you're being receiving, or you will be receiving if you're not getting them now, on the spiritual level. And the hair here is, you know, that new energy. It brings in the spring energy, that's newness. So you are being asked next week to explore your mind, explore your inner self, and take the opportunity, especially if you're at home, and to go deeper and just to explore new things that you probably haven't given much thought to. So your first tarot is the King of Wands. And I actually love how he's kind of looking out on the horizons, especially as it says expand your horizons. He's actually out looking out on the horizons. You know, the King of Wands to me very similar to the Queen of Wands. Is he's in a good place. He's got a lot of passion, and he's very driven, and he knows exactly what he wants, and he's in a good place. So you know, you're probably in a great place as it is, but you just need to explore different ideas, different things. You know, not be so set in your belief system or the way you do things or whatever this may be. Next week is going to be a time that to explore something different, to get, you know, fired up about going somewhere else in your mind, and listening to messages that are coming to you on a more spiritual level than you know, than everyday level. I'm talking more of a spiritual level, I think, for next week. So your next card is the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, and again, in this situation, I do believe that next week you're going to get a lot of incoming information. The signs that I see in the first card of Spirit. So I do think next week is going to be a time that you're going to get a lot of information coming from Spirit. You're going to be on the receiving end of a lot of signs and a lot of ways to, you know, when you've to explore yourself and to think of things differently. I mean, the Six of Pentacles, you know, is that card where you normally see somebody who is in a great place giving to others, but I do believe that this is going to be you receiving. I mean, these bubbles, and I do think that with your opportunity to expand horizons with all the imagery there, I do think that next week is going to be a time that you're going to spend a lot of the time expanding your mind and taking the opportunity to go deeper within, to connect with your spiritual self, and you will be on the receiving end of a lot of signs that are being sent to you. And your last card is the Lovers. And I love this image because, again, this is about expanding your mind. She's looking in a mirror, but she's not seeing herself in her mind's eye. She's seeing somebody she loves and a completely different environment to what she's actually in. And again, that kind of, to me, tells me that that next week is going to be an ideal time for you to do a lot of this self-exploring and to take your mind elsewhere, especially if, you know, how we are at the moment. Anxiety can be, you know, an awful thing to deal with. So if you are somebody who's very anxious and you're worried about what's going on and constantly finding yourself thinking about it, it's the ideal time to, and the opportunity to take, as the card said, it's the ideal opportunity to take your mind elsewhere, to remove yourself from everyday life and all the drama, what's going on around, and all the worry and all the anxiety, and to take your mind elsewhere. Create your own environment in your own mind, explore that and expand your horizon at the same time, but keep an eye out for the signs. There's lots of spiritual stuff coming in for you next week. You just have to see it, but we need to have a clear mind away from worries and anxieties to be able to hear it. So that is pile 2. And then the last pile is pile 3. And the first card is self-exploration, fairy tales and myths. Excuse me. So again, that goes very much with the card pile 2. This is also about exploring yourself. But this card asks you to look into fairy tales. It's asking you to read old myths. And again, if you're in a place where you're being self-isolated and can't get out, pick up some fairy tale books. You can do it online. I'm sure there's stuff on YouTube, but read some fairy tales and look at old folklores and myths and listen to music, nature, anything nature-based. This card is asking you to explore that side of yourself, because there may well be hidden messages within these fairy tales and myths, or in nature, what is going to be a help to you, is going to give you answers that you're looking for. But again, as with pile 2, this card is very much about self-exploration, but with this time it's asking you to delve deep into the fairy tales and myths of old lore, because they seem to, and nature, because they do seem to be messages there that you need to hear. And your first tarot card is the Two of Swords. Now, again, to me, the Two of Swords is that you need to look within your heart, within yourself, to find the answers that you're looking for. You're not going to find them by focusing on the world as it is. You know, you're not going to find it by I'm trying to think what the word is. I'm thinking of, you know, from your mind. You're not going to find it in your mind. It's not, the answers aren't there. It's deep within you. It's deep within your heart, and you've got to go deep to find it. And this self-exploration card here is telling you the way to find it is through the fairy tales and myths and nature from olden days. So try not to let your mind take over and become more focused on your heart rather than in your mind to find answers that you're looking for. And then this is going to open up, look at that chest, it's the Ace of Pentacles. It's a whole new opportunities, a whole new, a whole new way of looking at things. It's a treasure chest, you know. Our treasure doesn't have to be financial. Treasures can be any kind of abundance is treasure. And this is what this is going to do. By looking into the self-exploration and listening with your heart and not going into your mind. This is going to bring a whole new way of you bringing a lot of abundance into your lives, and a lot of treasure, abundance that you need in your life. It's going to give you the answers to allow you to have this new opportunity to have a new way of looking and doing things, and what's going to take you down a road full of potential. And I love the Ace of Pentacles in this deck. It's a treasure chest that's ready for you to open, and it could have anything in there. It's just waiting to be explored. And then your last card is the Eight of Wands. And to me, that brings, once that chest is open, that's going to bring so much opportunity. I mean, and it's going to happen so fast as well. The Eight of Wands to me is always that fast-moving energy. So once you delve into that chest of knowledge, whatever you want to call it, then this is going to bring so much opportunity, and things are going to move so fast for you, that it's going to just bring so much for you to grab hold on and to run with. And I think that's a lovely reading. So that is the 3 readings. So that was 3, that was 2, and that was pile 1. I think these are gorgeous cards. I'm really enjoying working with these. Thanks for watching, and I hope that some of it could resonate with you, and I will speak to you later. Bye for now.